All right, welcome back to Lag Demon Programming. In the previous video, we began putting together our class hierarchy that was going to be our dungeon. And while I was on a break here from recording, I started looking it over and I came to some conclusions that we need to change things a little bit and do a little bit of refactoring. So what I did was I created, after description, because this needs to use description, I created this class called a dungeon node. And a dungeon node has an identifier, which is something that we kind of forgot about, the identifier of the particular thing. And it has a description in this unique pointer. And it's instantiated with that ident and description. And then you can get the identifier from it. You can get the display name from it, which comes out of the description object. And you can get the text from the description object. And then these other nodes inherit that dungeon node. And this saves a lot of typing and storing of values and so forth. So the way that happens is it inherits dungeon node. So dungeon node needs to be called. Its constructor needs to be called here during the updates, and we pass in the ident, and we do the standard move description when we pass that in. And it receives that description up here, and it does another move. It's important. That's necessary because it's going onto the stack, then it's going into the piece. So so each of them inherit that, and I was just kind of finishing up some things here. I decided to go ahead and start recording what we want to do right now. So we've got the idea of a where is it, item here. So we want to be able to display these things on the screen in some format. So what I think I will do is have it where you pass in a stream to get the information that you want to display. And so the way we're going to do that, and we might have some helper functions as well that provide text, but the way we're going to do that is, well, we can do it in a couple of ways. We can do it as a function that you pass a stream into, and it writes to the stream, which is one way. Or we can overload these items. But the thing is, they're bound up in these unique pointers for the most part. So I'm going to use a function that you pass a stream into. It's a little tricky to do that through unique pointers, though it is possible. But I like this method. So we're just going to have we're going to have a standard output stream ampersand that we're going to return. And we're just going to call this function display. And we're going to pass into it a standard OStream ampersand called OS. That's our output stream. And so when we call display on an item, it needs to display an item in some reasonable way. So when I display the item, at least for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go OS from get ident and a comma, and then then get display name, and then standard endl, and then I'm going to go OS from get text from. So that's just going to simply print out two lines, one line with the ident and the display name. Immediately following it will be whatever that text is, which could be a blob of text. We could surround this with some break line of some kind, showing that and then we'll just copy that down to here. So that'll display an item. And if we want to display a room, we also probably need to display an exit. Well, this has an exit ID. Did we do exit? Oh, that's just a room. An exit is a room ID. Okay, so we're displaying an item, and we need to be able to display a room, which would be a list of items and exits. So maybe we don't want to do well, that would be a list of items and exits. So what we could do here then is, and I'm not going to do this. We'll do the same thing we did here. I'll just copy this. Ident and display name is still good, and text is still good. That's all standard. Actually, I just realized we could probably move this to our dungeon node, because all that stuff comes out of the dungeon node. So all we need is one of them up here in the dungeon node, since they all inherit from that. And we can get rid of this. And now, well, the thing is, they all inherit from it, but we have to display this base stuff, but then we have to display specialty stuff. So what we'll display the basic stuff that way, and then we'll create a virtual method that will return a standard OStream ampersand standard 2 colons, and we'll call this details. We'll go standard OStream ampersand OS equals 0. And after calling that display, we will call, we will go return details OS. Now each one has to implement it, but they only have to implement what they need to actually display. So let's grab that. And let's put it here. And let's put override. And so what do we want to display? We want to display whether it's unique or and its value. So we can do, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to take that part out. And I'm going to leave it up to the details to close it off. So now we'll go OS from value, from underscore value, from, we'll see how this looks. We might have to adjust it, but nope. I'm going to go we'll go underscore is unique question mark unique colon common. Okay, so there's the details for an item. The details for a room. So let's grab this. And the details of a room we want to print out, not the value, there's no value, and there's no unique. Okay, so the we want to go through each of the items in the room. So we want to go OS from items. And then we'll go for auto item underscore items. And we'll go OS from, no, not IS, OS from, no, we'll go item dot item pointer it's a items is a string. No, it's supposed to be an item. Oh yes, it's a string item in the room. We have to, oh yeah, we have to have a way of looking up the actual items. The dungeon as a list of items that are actual items. So we don't want to do anything in here, but we do have to implement details. The only thing that we could print out from here is, yeah, so we do have to implement details, but it does nothing for a room because the dungeon is going to have to do that. Now I'm going to have to think through that one. The way we've organized this may not be details is described up here. Actually, we should put the actual item in here. And the actual, no, because then that would mess up our structure. Well, I'm going to have to think about that one a little bit. How are we going to print out? Well, for now, what we'll do is we'll just print the items. So we'll go for standard string item for auto item items OS from it's underscore items from item from standard indel, and then we'll do the same thing with exits exits, exit. Except what we'll do here is we'll go OS from items, and we'll do exits. Okay, so then details, we have items in here. When we do details from here is actually where we could, for each room that we print out, we could just get the list of items from here and use it to find the items here and print the items for the room. That's the way we want to do it. So after all, we don't want to print this out at all. We want to do nothing for item here. Or for room here, except the base stuff. And for the details of items and exits, what we need is standard vector. Darn it, can't type. Standard string get exits return exits underscore exits get items return items. Now for dungeon, that's for a particular room we might be in. Now's where we got to get into the player in particular, because we want to be able to do a details for a particular room, actually, not the whole dungeon. Well, for the moment, we just want to print out our dungeon, so we'll just do the we'll do the details down here. And what we will do is we'll do it by room. So we'll go for auto room colon underscore rooms. And we will go underscore, well, its room doesn't have this details thing, right? So we want to go for auto exits for auto exit colon room pointer get exits. Sorry about that long pause. I was trying to figure out why I can't iterate through these rooms with these unique pointers in them, but I guess I can't. underscore rooms. And we'll go, so we're going to go here, and we're going to go OS from exits from and then we're going to go OS from exit from Endel, and then that's exits, and we'll just copy this, put it down here. We have exits. Not exits, items. Oh yeah, this is exits. This is exits of the room. Oh. So yeah, first we want to go underscore room sub I. We want to leave these guys in place, these unique pointers. Pointer display OS. Okay. So that'll display the room. And I went too far. I didn't want to do this. I want to do this. Z. Yeah. Control X. I want to get this. Put it here. And this will be item. Get items and item, and this is here. And this is items. Sorry about this. Okay, it's hard to talk when I'm doing this. Let's see if this even builds. I made some mistakes. I'm sure I did. And L. It's supposed to be standard. And L. Oh, there we go. All right. So now we can go over here to main. And we do our compilation, but now what we need to do is actually compile it. And it is 23 minutes in. 23 minutes in, I think we might, yeah, I don't think we can do all this typing, especially the way I'm typing right now, in that amount of time. But what we can do real quick is just kind of comment this guy out. And yeah, we'll just go ahead and leave that. It's fine. We'll still do it with the file. It just won't do anything with the file. What we can do is come in here and go dung equals new dungeon. Of course, we need a description, right? An ident and a description that's a unique pointer. So what we could do is come up here to description, do a standard unique pointer, make description, standard, string, display name, display name, standard string text, except I'm going to make this static, unique pointer, description, make description, and we're going to go return standard make unique description not ident, display name, text, this is supposed to be a colon. There. Let's make sure that, let's go back to main. We can go description, colon, make description. Now we can just pass in strings. And we can make this my dungeon, comma, some text, what the heck is the problem here? Dungeon, oh, takes an ident. Oh, I did go do an ident and a unique pointer to a description, main. Oh, let's do, well, actually, let's just do this. There we go. We need an make description. We need an ident dungeon, comma. There we go. So we have a dungeon, and then we can go dung dot add item, and under item we can make stuff. So right now what we can do is go dung dot display standard colon C out, make, doesn't have anything in it, so it's not going to display much, but it says dungeon, my dungeon, some text. Okay, so the basic structure and functionality is working. You got to add some stuff in. So it's 30 minutes in. In the next video, we will take these classes over and use them in our parser to generate an actual class structure, just similar to what we did playing around with the with some of the other tools with the command line and so forth. But this is going to generate a structure that we can use to start moving around in our dungeon, and we can have a player then that can have a context and know what room they're in, and they'll see that room. And down the road we can do other stuff with it. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, hit that like button. If you really liked it, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.